President Trump plans to address the nation tonight amidst the biggest boycott. Dozens of people will be boycotting and holding either their own events or not attending at all. This includes some big names like AOC, Adam Schiff, among many others.
That's right. So what we're hearing is dozens of members of Congress will be boycotting and holding separate events tonight. The largest prior to this was in 2018 when 14 Democrats did not attend the State of the Union. So almost double if all the numbers we're seeing pan out are not going to be there. And we're talking about people like not just members of the House of Representatives who, are a little bit more wild, maybe sometimes more on the fringe. We're talking about U.S. senators as well, including Ed Markey from Massachusetts, Jeff Merkley from Oregon, Chris Murphy from Connecticut, Tina Smith from Minnesota, Adam Schiff from California, and Senator Chris Van Hollen from Maryland. And then you have a list of other representatives, including AOC, Pramila Jayapal, and many others. We can talk about that as we go.
I want to know how many people actually care and how many of them they're just like, I just want to stay home tonight. And look, it'll win me some brownie points with my Democratic base.
But they're also holding side events. There's a State of the Swamp event that's going to be happening, which is interesting.
Who's the swamp?
That's led by Representative Jason Crow of Colorado and Seth Moulton of Massachusetts.
They're calling themselves the swamp?
I think they're trying to flip it on them. They're taking the swamp term and trying to now say that it's Donald Trump that's the swamp, even though he coined the term.
Okay, and
then you've also got the People's State of the Union, which is a separate competing event. That'll happen on the National Mall an hour before the State of the Union.
Of course, you knew who it was, but there was going to be one Democrat who brought some logic to this whole conversation. It would be the one and only senator from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman. So let's take a listen to him on Fox News talking about the State of the Union tonight.
No, I do plan to attend, and I hope that this year they don't put up those silly paddles and all those kinds of weird protests that's like you don't have to agree with whatever you're going to hear, but like last year, I mean, it just made us look like children, and just exactly, yeah, thank you. I can see you're referencing that. It's just like show up or not, but just do that kinds of thing and like have some dignity and just we can agree or disagree and not call people names.
Coming with logic, with actual, emotional clarity, and that is John Fetterman, again, who, look, a lot of conservatives fought very hard against, but as time has progressed, he has shown to be one of the great leaders of the Democratic Party who actually has some, sound thoughts, even just based on common civility.
Trump is violating the law and Constitution. He is ignoring court orders. He has weaponized the Justice Department to go after his enemies. He is letting loose ICE troops in our streets that are getting people killed. I will not be attending the State of the Union. I've never missed one. I have always gone both to inaugurations and to States of the Union, but we cannot treat this as normal. This is not business as usual. I will not give him the audience he craves for the lies that he tells. I'll be outside the Capitol with Midas touch and move on for the People's State of the Union, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday.
Here's the part of the problem as well, is that, one, all the spin, all the lies that he's saying there, obviously it's the same political talking points. But one of the things he says is that Donald Trump is violating the law and the Constitution. Now, I know things are a little different these days with the way we can communicate a lot quicker and we can broadcast the State of the Union than when the Constitution was written. But the State of the Union is listed as something that the president shall do in the Constitution. It says he shall from time to time give the Congress information of the State of the Union and recommend to their consideration such measures as he shall judge necessary and expedient. This is telling the president to report to Congress on things and then to ask basically for their cooperation on things. As the executive, here's things I see we need to get done, so let's work on a bill. And that's why you always hear presidents say, let's get it done. I'll sign the bill if you get it to my desk. That's a part of this. So I know that it's not like Adam Schiff is not going to understand or hear what's in it. But the very fact that he's saying that the president doesn't follow the law or the Constitution, when the Constitution is giving Adam Schiff a place of authority in this situation where the president has to go and make a report to them. It's all political spin, and it's really just gross. Like, you don't even have to like the State of the Union or anything, but if you're a senator, a U.S. senator, just go. Be there.
I like that Adam Schiff was like, I'm going to be on an hour before because I'm not brave enough to actually counter-program this. So watch me an hour before. I'm your lead-in.
This is the president giving a report to Congress. If you frame it the way they're looking at it, is it almost as if the king is coming to deliver the speech to the subjects. No, the State of the Union is giving a report on the State of the Union to Congress. It's almost a presentation, like in school. Like, we've done this work, and here is the fruit of this work over the last year. Yes, it's a highly political speech, but by protesting, you are giving the president the elevated spot. And you could flip it completely. Like, I'm going to be there and hear him have to tell me to my face. And I don't want to give the Democrats any ideas, but the better positioning is like, he's going to have to tell me to my face because I am a co-equal branch of government, and he's got to report to Congress on what's happened. And instead, they feel like the best thing is, I'm not giving him an audience.
Yeah, I actually want to play a bite from Stephen A. Smith, who has, look, let's just be honest, has been flirting with a presidential run. It has been something that he has discussed a lot. People are asking him quite a bit about him potentially running as a Democrat in 2028. Now, if he does run as a Democrat, we know he has been pretty aggressive when it comes to the issues that the Democrat Party have. He's not unlike a Senator Fetterman in that sense. So I think it's kind of important to hear what Stephen A. Smith has to say as we start to listen to people like Gavin Newsom. Maybe there are some more rational alternatives. Let's listen. This is Stephen A. Smith.
President of the United States is going to give his State of the Union address, and the Democrats got other plans. So some are talking about walking out in the middle of his speech. Others are talking about boycotting it altogether and essentially finding something else to do. I'm here to tell you that neither is acceptable. Neither should be acceptable. At some point in time, ladies and gentlemen, there's got to be an adult in the room. If you're going to act as juvenile, as petulant, as petty, as you accuse the president of the United States to be, how are you ever going to hold a high moral ground, at least high enough to judge him accordingly?
So there you go. Another statement very similar, actually, to John Fetterman's, maybe put in different words, but saying you can't be boycotting, you can't be doing these kind of things, because if you do, you're essentially playing a game, a political game, and I think a lot of people have fought back against this political game. And that's the thing, is when you have people like Adam Schiff and AOC saying we're sitting out, not able to, like you said, not able to even sit in the room, sure, for us that have been involved in this, we see this as a political game, but there are a lot of people out there who don't understand how Washington works, takes it maybe too seriously, if you will, in terms of the way personal struggles are, and they can, like you said, they can take it to an extreme.
The problem is have you seen how many Democrats aren't showing up for the State of the Union? It's huge.
Yeah,
remember, we had like 80-something Democrats who refused to go to the inauguration of Donald Trump. These people are running out of the room because they have no ideas and they can't stay in the room and have the argument. They can't have a debate. Instead, they're resorting to violence on property and personal individuals. They are running out of the room because they can't speak. This is not your father's Democratic Party. They're radicals. They're getting more radical. They cannot even sit in a room or watch a symphony or debate or watch a show with someone that they disagree with. It is literally out of hand. And adults in the Democratic Party need to stand up, speak up, and say, enough is enough. Let's have a debate about issues and let's be adults.